All right, it's time for the daily debate for today. The question, guys, is after Amanda Nunes' first round knockout to become a dual champ, do you think Cris Cyborg deserves an immediate rematch? Yes or no? Please expand. Dan.
Oh, man. I will say yes, but it's dangerous, right, guys? Because it feels like the champions who we would argue deserve the rematches don't necessarily get them, or if they get them, it's like on a happenstance thing, like Aldo Holloway too, whereas we're not giving rematches necessarily to guys like Stipe. But we've also seen it pay off, or what do we give? They gave Rose an immediate one, or Joanna an immediate one against Rose. So I say parlay that up a couple divisions in the female weight classes and give it to old Cyborg. You know, I think she deserves it. This was the best fighter we've seen her face, and we only got to see, congrats to Amanda, but we only got to see a minute or so from each, 51 seconds or so from each fighter. So let's go ahead and run it back. Why not?
Okay, goes.
I think she deserves the immediate rematch, but I don't think she deserves the immediate match. I think Amanda has some fish to fry at 135. She should go back and take care of that before she goes back up to 145.
Ah, so you're saying, yes, you will fight Amanda in your next fight, but Amanda, that's the responsibility being a champion. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Dan, you cited some perfect examples, man. If you think of Garbrandt, he got waxed by Dillashaw, yet he got an immediate rematch.
That's another
DJ
one. Yeah, there you go.
Lost to Henry Cejudo in a split decision, close fight, and they weren't even entertaining anything about an immediate rematch because he got shipped off to one championship, right? So you're right. Miocic, one of the best heavyweight champions, if not the best heavyweight champ ever. No talk of that. And yet, Jose Aldo, you know, when Conor won, they moved Conor immediately to something else, and then, you know, Jose was able to, you know, it's really, really baffling to me how there's no rhyme or reason to when it will happen or won't happen or whatever. So I thought you put it very, very good. Hey, yeah, it can be your next match, but I think Ketlin Vera should be next for Amanda Nunes. You know what I mean? Because she takes a step back while her champion, she wants to be a champion, but the person that's champion her division is going off and doing a super fight. Okay. She's been pretty quiet about it. I haven't heard anything disrespectful from her, but now Amanda should return to that. Now, the problem is the UFC looks at metrics, and if that thing blew up on Saturday night, they're going to want to run it back. I don't think she should, though, because Cyborg took a lot of damage. I think she would either be better off with just take another fight or rest up and let Amanda take another fight. And Amanda looks like she could fight somebody pretty soon. The only problem is to get up to Cyborg, you know, she packed on a little bit of muscle, so can she just get to 35 so quick? I don't know. They get a taste of the bigger money. Do they want to, or do they want to go on a vacation? I don't know, but that's the problem with the champ things is we all think, oh, yeah, they can go back and forth and defend. They don't seem to ever do that. So my thing would be more on no for me, but go ahead.
Well, here's another factor you touched on, George, that would almost get me to change my answer here, guys, if the wording wasn't, and that was you brought up Cejudo and DJ, and a part of the reason was because of contract negotiations. We can't say that the UFC wouldn't have given him that rematch, but there were contract negotiations, and I will remind you, I believe this may have been Cyborg's last fight, and we did have a prominent MMA manager on our show predicting that Cyborg's next fight would be outside of the organization, so that could be a factor.
She has the one more fight left, right?
Yeah. I mean, that could be a factor that changes things at the negotiating table. That would make me say almost no if that question were, do you think it'll happen next? Of course, the question is, does she deserve it? And my answer is yes, but thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. I think we covered a lot of bases here, guys. Good job. Here's how Junkie Nation, our readers of the site and our listeners of the show voted. 64% went with yes. 36% said no. 1,381 votes came in, so that's a pretty good sample size there.
Yeah.
And there you have it. There's today's daily debate brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team.